everyone, I'm Karen and it has been a minute. I've been sick for a while, but in the meantime, I've read a lot of books, so we need to talk about them. Okay, so the first book I've read since we've talked, and that is from LitFest, is The Last Dreamwalker by Rita Woods. So The Last Dreamwalker follows this woman who has kind of a hot mess relationship with her mother, however, still has love for her mother, and one day her mom just dies, and this woman thought she would have, more time with her mom and more time to kind of repair things, and she didn't. And as it happens, when you're an adult and your parent dies, there's a lot of work that has to be done, you just cleaning the house and just kind of getting things settled. And so she's getting things settled when her two aunts come to town. Her mom was one of three sisters, and they basically give her this little package, which I kind of imagine as an overfilled journal situation, and they tell her, don't open it now, but this will explain a lot and you need to read this. Now, before I say more, I will say that I completely love the two aunts. They have kind of witchy vibes, although they're not witches. And yeah, it just has a really good fall vibe in this whole book, and super comforting too, with loads of sensory details about meals and textures in the home and just stuff like that. It's really, really good for fall. So it's through reading through this packet of information that her aunts have given her that she realizes that she is a dream walker. And essentially, after talking to her aunts and just finding out more, the third sister of a third sister is a dream walker. And that means that she can go in and out of dreams, can influence people's dreams, and it's just super magical realism and good for fall and just super, super interesting. I should say also that the book goes back and forth between the two timelines. So there is the one woman that we're following that I'm talking about right now, but also one of her ancestors who is enslaved and is going in and out of the dreams of her master. So we know at the start of the book that the enslaved ancestor is trying to secure this home from her master and using basically dream walking to try and get him to sign it over to her after his death. And then you find out through basically the package that this woman receives from her aunts. I apologize. I think her name is Layla, but I'm horrible with character names, especially when I've read it a week or so ago, that she has, in fact, inherited an entire island upon her mom's death. And because of all the secrets between her and her mom, or I guess I should say between her mom and her mom was keeping loads of secrets, she knows absolutely nothing about this island. So the rest of the book follows our main character, Layla, as she actually goes to this island that she has apparently inherited and just finds more about her family and solves some mysteries and family secrets. And it's really, really, really good. I think that Rita Woods is a lesser known author, and so that's why I'm telling you about it, because it was really, really good. I really liked it, and I think that she is somebody that we might not have heard of otherwise, and I really, really enjoyed her book, and I think that she will probably be auto-buy for me. So I'll make sure that I include a clip or two of Rita Woods speaking, because as I said, I met her at LitFest. But just some more information about her. She's a doctor, and writing is her side passion. But yeah, she's a lovely lady. She's from Detroit, Michigan area, which is the opposite side of the state from me. And I believe that she lives with her husband and her granddaughter, who is the most lovely human being ever and who took our picture at Lit Fest. And yeah, she just seems like we have a lot in common. She loves like warm beverages, mainly coffee, where I'm more of a tea person, traveling, just like living up life in a very Taurus energy sort of way, with lots of nice comforts. And oh, I should say, speaking of that, one other thing I really enjoyed about the book is that whenever I read Black fiction, the majority of the time I am reading about somebody who is low income. This person in this story and her family, they were all much higher income than I am. They were very successful in their careers. Not that I'm not successful in mine, but teaching is not a profession you go in to be, you know, well off, or it's not a lucrative profession. And so there was a lot of like more affluent sensory sort of vibes in the book. And that's just not something I'm used to, because it seems like the majority of the time we're reading about poor Black people in literature. And while Black people obviously have a lot stacked against them, that is not at all true. There are so many very affluent Black people, and I just don't see them represented in literature very much. Hello everyone. Okay, so I started this video, right? And then weird stuff happened and I didn't finish it. The other book that I wanted to review in this video was The Seventh Son, and this is by Sebastian Faulks. So here's the deal. I will link the video below, but I heard about this from somebody else on BookTube, and I thought it sounded really interesting. Basically, well, I'll tell you about it in a second, but then the other thing that made me be like, oh yes, I definitely need it, is because I realized after I was interested in it that this is actually one of Sarah from Your True Shelf's favorite authors. And I actually have 2 other books by him, basically because I was in Waterstones in the UK and I found this book and I absolutely loved the cover. Not this one, a different one. And then Sarah was like, oh my gosh, he's one of my favorite authors. She's like, I hate that cover. And I was like, well, she didn't really say I hate the cover. But basically, I was drawn to this book because of the cover, and Sarah was not a fan. But anyway, I ended up getting a different book by him, and then the book that was actually Sarah's favorite, which is a World War II one. But then basically when I heard about this book, I was like, oh, it sounds good, but then also the author is well loved by Sarah, so I'm gonna give it a shot. So I didn't get to the other 2 books I purchased. This was my first book by him, and the premise essentially is really interesting, and I was really drawn to the book. Basically, there's this American academic sort of person. I forgot what she was studying because it's been like a week now that I read this. But she was basically, she already had her doctorate and she was looking for a postdoc program. And she found one, but the only problem was she basically had to pay to go there. I don't really understand because I feel like you should get paid to do a postdoc. But anyway, and she just didn't have any money, blah, blah, blah. So she ends up basically deciding that she is going to go to this institute in the UK, and she is going to become pregnant with somebody else's baby and basically act as a surrogate mother for them. And then when the baby is born, she'll move on with her life and she'll have enough money to attend this postdoc program or postdoc position. I don't really, whatever she wants to do, she will have money for it. So that's what she decides to do. And it's just really interesting, like how the institute does things, how they screen her, the different like mental health stuff she has to go through, all this stuff. But I'm not sure how much I want to tell you. There is some ethical situation that arises from this in vitro fertilization sort of situation. And yeah, the book is a bit on the like science fiction sort of side, I would say, because of this ethical issue. So it's really interesting and really like engaging and all that stuff. And I just like, Really, really liked it. I would say I was probably giving it like 4.5 stars. And then the end, I was like, what am I reading? And there's a video that Heather from Saki Expat Book Nerd made like years ago, like way back in the beginning of her channel, where she was talking about Flowers in the Attic, and she is hilarious. Like, I know that she really loves the TV show I Love Lucy, but like, she is Lucy. I don't know if she realizes it or not, but like, her physical comedy is hilarious, and the way she tells stories is hilarious. And she was describing her feelings towards Flowers in the Attic, which I've never read, and she felt like it was like being slapped in the face with a wet fish. But she said it much better because Heather is a hilarious human being. But that is the feeling I got at the end of this book. Like, oh, what is going on? Oh, anyway. So I hope that is not a spoiler. I hope that you didn't read between the lines too much, but you probably did. Anyway, so yeah, that is the other book, and I don't know how to rate it. I would have to look on Storygraph and see what I gave it, because just now that I'm thinking about it, like, you know, like I said, it was probably like 4.5 stars, and then the ending just ruined the whole book, and I don't know. Let me know if you have also read it, or if you plan to read it. And yeah, I'm just curious what like other people think about it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go because I want to clean my entire apartment and finish laundry and basically get my life in order, because Camp Crystal Lake Readathon starts like basically at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I'm all about that. I will be reading spooky books all of October, and I hope that you guys will also be reading amazing fall, autumn sort of books in October, because I would love to get recommendations from you guys. I will see you later. Bye.